Hey, I want to talk about autism from an autistic person's perspective. Please just listen to what I'm about to say. So, I have autism, and at least 1% of the world has been born with autism. And, autistic brains are formed differently than that of a neurotypical brain. We do process information differently than that of a neurotypical brain, and we are more sensitive to certain stimuli than that of a typical neurotypical brain. I mention all this to say this. Autism is simply another way of being. It is a different way of in which human brains can present themselves, neurotype wise, and yes, although it can be a disability, it can also just be another way of being. There's nothing wrong with being autistic, which leads me to say, if autism is just another way of being, in which I certainly believe it is, why must neurotypicals insist on molding us and forcing us to behave and act and be within their standard of being? Because biologically speaking, autistic people are never meant to be neurotypical. We didn't evolve to be neurotypical. We evolved to be autistic. Our brains formed in the way in which it formed, which is in an autistic way. Which would suggest to me that no amount of negative or positive reinforcement will reshape our brain to be that of a neurotypical's. No amount of forcing and coercion and quiet hands will make us neurotypical. We entered this world autistic and we will exit this world autistic. We will always be autistic. And all that forcing us to be a neurotypical is going to do is going to cause conflict. It's going to cause personal identity crises. It's going to cause an issue with one believing that they're a fake person. It's going to make one feel inferior. It's going to make one feel less than. All it's really going to do is make us so traumatized that we have to mask out of fear of what will happen when we don't. Masking is incredibly draining, both mentally, physically, and emotionally. I am very burnt out from masking. I do not wish to mask any longer, and I know many autistic people feel the same. Why must we be shunned and punished for the traits that are natural to us, to the behaviors that are natural to us that harm nobody? Even if it makes you uncomfortable or inconvenienced, it doesn't harm you. So why must we, autistic people, be forced to behave in a way that is not natural to us, in a world that has told us since we were young to be ourselves? I don't know, just a thought.